to have future sales. Your next class is called So Many Ways to Sell. Your teacher for this class, as a sales director, led her unit to the $1 million circle of excellence 8 times. Her highest in the $1,350,000 circle. She was a top sales director nationwide 6 times. She's been a runner-up to the Queen of Unit Sales for her seminar 3 times and Queen 2 times. Debuting as a national sales director in 2000, she's a member of the ESND Millionaires Club with over $9 million she's earned in commissions since starting her business in 1986. She's achieved Diamond Circle status 9 times, and she is a member of the exclusive Inner Circle 12 times and a top 10 nationwide 4 times. She is so proud to have Julia Burnett, Leah Laughlin, and the late Barbara Johnson debut as national sales directors from her area. She is motivated by fully committed, passionate leaders who strive daily to be more and give more. Here to teach is, everyone get up on your feet, independent executive national sales director, Pamela Waldrop-Shaw.
Good morning. Woohoo! Good morning, good morning. Are you ready to get after it? Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Okay, have a seat. Let's go. Who knows this truth? A confused mind does nothing. Anybody? Our pace of advancement will be in alignment with our passion of our clarity. If we're trying to do business today and life like we did in 2018 and before, we're unlikely finding great success. If we're working our business in 2020, 2021, and we're not getting the results that we got during quarantine society, that's probably about right. Your business life can be a smooth ride of constant upward success and increase if you make yourself a masterful driver and read the road. Riding as a passenger with somebody who makes turns too quickly or goes slow in the fast lane can be frustrating at best. Have you ever done that? And then dangerous at worst, right? They're bad drivers. They don't read the road. So instead of waiting for something to change, we've got to be in charge of creating a template and a foundation that innovates the right changes at the right time as society pivots. I have an eagle's eye view, both from 36 years tenured in the company and from my position as an Inner Circle National Sales Director, who engages not only with the leaders of our Epic family, but of Mary Kay leaders around the globe. And I observed during 2020, when directors who had not achieved the highest levels available to them prior to that season, during 2020 and quarantine, they soared to the top of our scoreboard, and they accomplished beyond anything ever before. They recognized the opportunity. They seized the societal climate. They captured the available audience. They titled the party to reflect what it was. It's Happy Skin Hour. They scheduled it 2 to 3 times a week on the exact same days so that nobody was confused about when, where, what was going to happen. They sold countless dollars of product without using samples, and they added countless team members with both e-starts and starter kits. At the same time, tenured leaders who stuck their head in the way things used to be threw a lot of spaghetti at the wall thinking something would stick. Everywhere from YouTube to OneStream to StreamYard to Zoom to Facebook, and nothing stuck. They lost traction, and they didn't build the team, and they had lower years than years before. So here we are in a fresh new place with a fresh opportunity. Who wants to get it right? I believe absolutely everyone can find her sweet spot, identify her favorite platform, her most engageable prospects, and build her biggest business of both skincare customers and team members now than ever before. A desire that spans all of humanity is to be fully awake, fully alive, fully engaged in our one remarkable life. Nobody wants to waste time or opportunity, yet we tend to err on the side of either comfort or curiosity. The secret to happiness in life It definitely is adventure. Waking up each day and asking, what does today have in store? Who will I meet? Who can I serve? Who will want what I have to offer? As a professed introvert who continually evaluates my preferences and my values, this applies to me as well. Whereas I err on comfort, and some of you may err on adventure or curiosity, with our business, we've got to find space for both. So let's start today by visiting who we've been as a company since 1963 prior to 2020. Because what we did for all those years, we have to translate in a modern way of living in order to preserve our legacy and rely on the roots and wings of our opportunity. In that long window of time, in order to be successful in our business from 1963 to 2020, you had to, number one, create a list of prospects, what you might call leads, to call and book for skincare experience, a facial with a friend or a party with 3 to 5 friends. Number two, you had to decide which day of the week you were going to hold those parties. Number three, you had to decide where you would hold those parties, at your home, at her home, at an event center, somewhere else. Number four, you had to decide what time of day. Now, once you booked that appointment, you coached your hostess with an incentive to follow through as your partner for a successful appointment. She provided you with the contacts or the guest list, and you reached out via a telephone call. Or in the 90s, you started texting or pre-profiling the experience by asking some questions about her skin to make sure that she would be both curious enough to come and meet you and that you'd have done and brought proper samples. At the party, everybody would experience some version of a product experience, either below the eyes and down or on half the face, so she could feel the difference between supplements and skincare on one side and skincare on the other side. Throughout the party, you talked about a second appointment where she would try more color. You shared your Cracker Jack recruiting team building talk while her mask dried. You displayed a travel roll-up with all the pockets filled and purchasing options, and you invited her purchase decision. You did an individual close and completed the sale. You booked her second appointment. You started the coaching process all over again, and you invited her to learn more about our opportunity and to be a part of your team. This was, and still is, the process. At that time, you knew, if not her, then as a talent scout, who did she know who might benefit from what our company actually offers? This is what we imitated during 2020 and 2021, except we went live without samples, and it worked because the world slowed down. People had money, time, and they needed entertainment. It worked. Today, we want to replicate the processes, but we want to factor in the variety of ways we now have to make a sale and to execute that experience. Every successful experience means successful conversions. A conversion is when you take one thing and you turn it into another thing and then the next thing. Meet a person, schedule an appointment with family and friends, make a sale, book a second appointment, retain a customer, attract a team member, get that team member in motion to sell her first 5 skincare sets, book her launch party or power start, teach her the full circle process of our business, all while making a connection, building a relationship, and multiplying through that customer. What do we need to consider given today's climate of technology and advancements while holding on to our legacy connection of relationship building as foundational? How do we decide? How quickly can we grasp and duplicate this process? Now, I don't want you to leave my class with a bunch of notes that you'll never review. I want you to hear the concept and the strategy behind making a decision and executing one effectively. There's a method and a process that you must grasp. And there's a buffet of how you're going to execute that process. Acknowledging that a confused mind does nothing, my goal is to create clarity and hope for you in the process of being curious enough to explore and make a decision about your best pathway. You don't want to be like experienced directors in quarantine who couldn't get traction because they wouldn't follow what was working. Who is willing to follow what is working? Good. You don't want to be like people who got great traction when the world was still, but they haven't pivoted properly now that it's open and they're not getting results. You want to be alive, awake, aware, curious, integrating the process and making every positive conversion. The first thing I invite you to write down. Ready? I must start from where I am. I must start from where I am. You're not behind. You're not ill-equipped. You're not confused. You're where you are. The second thing I want you to write down is simply the word courage. It takes courage to get out of your comfort zone, to try something new in order to get traction. Procrastination is not for achievers. Fear is not for achievers. Entrepreneurs must find a level of courage and push through in the moment, even when they feel like they don't know what they're doing, especially when they feel like they don't know what they're doing. I'm going to walk through options for you guys today, you guys. And you know what? All options are not for you. When you find yourself thinking, yes, I might be able to do that, then that's probably an option you want to investigate. When you find yourself going, oh no, that's probably not your option. At the same time, I invite you to be open enough and curious enough and to willingly try something that's just not familiar with you yet. So let's start at the beginning. There are 3 ways to make a sale. Number 1, in person. Number 2, virtually. And number 3, hybrid. How many of you became independent beauty consultants from a result of being at an in-person party? Raise your hand. Okay. How many of you became an independent beauty consultant over the past 2 years in a virtual experience? Okay, about 50-50. How many of you have had experiences associated with our product education gatherings, both in person and on virtual technology? You're seeing things happen both at the same time. And how many of you have participated in a hybrid experience where something is in person, but the cameras are on so that other people can virtually zoom in on that? Anybody? Okay. Read the road. So here's the thing. If we don't know who, and we don't know where, and we don't know when, we officially are confused and we will do nothing. So remember the conversion process. You might want to grab a piece of this. Meet a person. Schedule an appointment with family and friends. Make a sale. Book a second appointment. Retain a customer. Attract a team member. Get that team member in motion to sell her first 5 skincare sets. Book her launch party or power start. Teach her the full circle process of our business. And that's the way it works. Now, let's start with who? Meet a person. If I hear one thing from beauty consultants over and over again, it's, I don't know who to call. I don't know who to book. She will, she won't. I want you to think through this with me. Who are your prospective customers? There are 331 million people in the United States and 7.7 billion people in the world. If you were getting married, hosting a baby shower, you'd have no problem coming up with a list of 100 people to invite, and some of you would have a hard time paring that list down to 300. Let's keep it real. Oftentimes, the question is not who are your prospective customers. The question is, who are you willing to reach out to, and do you know what to say? In order to sell, you need customers. How do you start with existing relationships, generate new leads, and grow your customer base? I reward the new beauty consultants of my $1 million unit when they get started by making a list of 150 people they know who have skin. We just like to start with people who have skin. That seems like a generous place to start. I'm going to challenge you to do the same thing. Make a list of 150 people. Don't know that many? Take a look at your Facebook friends. Open your smartphone contact list. How many people are just between your Facebook and your smartphone? Look at your Christmas card address labels. It's not that we don't know people. It's that we're not sure we want to ask the people that we know, and I understand that. But I want to quickly say that this long list of names is not a lead. It's traffic. It becomes a lead when you make a connection. Someone who likes your Instagram post is not a lead. Someone who messages you back through Instagram is not a lead. You don't have to raise your hand, but I'm guessing some of you have been on a dating virtual service. I mean, I don't know, Match or whatever they all are. You know, I'm guessing some of you are married to someone you met on that platform. So all the people that were on there, that's just a whole lot of noise until there's a connection. And engagement only then becomes a lead or a prospect. So the key, until you've really created engagement with the Facebook comment or the Instagram like, there's still no prospect. So I want you to wrap your head around is the thinking about all these people, but not yet engaging with them. So you're thinking about people, What should I say? What will she say? How's this gonna go? Engagement is key. So my first skincare appointments were with teacher colleagues because that's where I was in my life. I was a high school English and dance teacher. And guess who the first ones were? The science teachers. And they had a lot of questions about ingredients. And while I had very little knowledge and zero experience, but you know what? I followed the protocol and I continued to do exactly what I was supposed to do. And I met people through them and continued to grow my business. So let's go old school. If you're in person, someone probably has a piece of paper beside her tray and mirror, something you set up while people are letting a mask dry. I'm going to share a little bit about our company. This is what you say, right? You're sitting there. She's got her tray and mirror. There's a little piece of paper there, and you're going to start your party. I'm going to share a little bit about our company and my own journey to build a bridge and to create a thought. Consider starting a home-based business themselves. That's what I want to accomplish. So with that little piece of paper, I'm also going to play a game. And I can do it old school paper or I can do it new school. Text me X number of contacts. But when I'm with people, either virtually or in person, I want to meet the people that she knows. So I might say something like this. The way I grow my business is through referrals and reputation. Someone has a positive experience with me or our product and they want to share it. So I'd be so honored to treat some of your family and friends to a beauty pack. I might hold up a travel skincare set or a couple of brushes or an eye pencil or a mascara as a giveaway because I'm going to give away something next. So I'm going to give them about 60 seconds and I might even play fun music. I might even play like game show music like da 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 da. Right? So they're either going to write down names and contact numbers, or better yet, they're going to text them to me by sharing a contact. You know how you go to your address book, share the contact, share it. I'm going to give them 60 seconds, and whoever shares the most with me in that window of time, I'm going to give away my gift. Now if I have 5 people sitting there and they send me 5 contacts, I've got 25 new friends of friends. Now, if I'm on Zoom, they can put that contact in the chat, or they can text it to me. What's in the beauty pack? Well, it could be a sample size skincare, an eye mask, a charcoal mask, maybe a shower breast card. Keep it simple, but make it look and feel like a gift. So for those of you who are Instagram or Facebook savvy, sometimes you make a post about loving the skincare that you use and inviting them to tag 5 friends that you'll send a beauty pack to them when they do that. And then you reward someone who tagged you the most with some sort of giveaway. So a few years ago, a friend of mine from the gym decided to get her real estate license. I get a handwritten card from her every month reminding me about her passion for her business and that if I ever want to sell my house or if I know of anybody selling their house, would I keep her in mind? Emily will always be on the front of my mind as it relates to a house or someone else's house because of her professionalism and because of her persistence in keeping me reminded about her commitment to her business. Imitate. If you're only in your business when things are going well and not so much when you can't figure it out, you have a life situation, you lose your mojo for a minute, nobody's going to refer anybody to you. People will make referrals when there's the best product, the best service, the best commitment, and someone who's going to be there longer than a year. So what are you projecting? Why would people refer their friends to you if you're projecting uncertainty or a lack of commitment? So when anybody compliments your skin, or compliment your look or your hair, you might say, it must be my skincare. In fact, I'm building my business and I'd love to share a beauty pack with you and a few of your family and friends. Let me send you a text so you have my contact. Okay, this is a translation for old school. Let me give you my card. You write out your name and number. You just say, let me send you a text. And then if you decide to share me as a resource with your family and friends for every 5, I'll give you a blank. You're constantly networking. You're constantly building the reputation of your business every single time you speak. So what are some options that you're going to give away? A limited edition eye color, a limited edition cheek color, an application brush, $10 towards your next purchase, available only with me, whatever you choose. It's just so important that you become intentional, working your appointments full circle, selling products, sharing the opportunity, and booking future parties. This conversion is what keeps your business going. You can't just pass out samples, pass out samples, pass out samples. You've got to do the courageous thing and create an appointment and then keep it moving full circle. Put your biggest reward at the place where you lack results. For me, It was the hostess giving me the names of her invited guests so I could pre-profile those guests. So I would give the hostess a bigger gift when she would confirm the guests, give me their contact so that I could pre-profile them. You can certainly ask your director what her preferred hostess gift is, but I had no problem giving away an entire brush collection set of brushes to have a party with 5 or 6 of her friends who'd been pre-profiled prior to the party. I knew if I had them gathered, if they tried the product, had a positive experience, which they were going to have with me, that they'd buy our skincare and that would be worth it to me to give away to build the business. So today, you're not pre-profiling guests with anything other than the Skin Analyzer app. That is your pre-profile, and that also coaches your party. Get familiar with the app. Learn how to text it to someone else. Learn how to get the results back. Make a practice of doing that. When you effectively get your appointment guests to download that app and go through the process, quickly send you the results, you virtually have a skincare customer. When they look at what's going on underneath their skin and they see what they need, you have a customer. That full circle effort, it's worth all the discomfort, all the effort required to make that happen. So let's take this appointment one step further. Old school, in person, I'm doing a one-on-one close. You would do the party at the table, and then you would take people over to a separate location, and you would do a one-on-one close. And at that one-on-one close, I would ask her 5 questions. Keep in mind, what I'm trying to share with you is a translation of old school to new school, in person to right now. So in that one-on-one consultation, we would sit alone for about 3 to 4 minutes, and I'm going to ask her 5 questions. And here are the 5 questions. Nicole, did you have a great time tonight? How does your skin feel? Doesn't it feel great? That's all one question. I see you jotted down, Nicole, that if money were no object, you'd like to go home with a complete travel roll-up. Is that comfortable for you? Because when I close the party, I ask them what they would like to go home with if money were no object. Now I know what they want. So now I'm saying I know what you want. Is that comfortable? I'm not saying can you afford it. Is that comfortable? My 3rd question. At your color appointment, I see you'd like to learn more about turning a daytime into a nighttime look. I've got some ideas that I'm looking really forward to that. Maybe a smoky eye. Is this time of week good for you? How about next week, Thursday at 6? You texted me 10 names during our referral game today. Let's go ahead and invite them all. And when you have at least 5 who say yes, I'll bring a brush collection set as my gift for you to apply your color. And of course, you get to keep the brushes. I'll text you a sample text and put me in the group with your friends so that I can follow their replies and support you with making sure you have a great party. Now, if at least 4 of them show up, I'll gift you the brushes. So today's Thursday. I'll be texting them the Skin Analyzer app as they say yes on our group text. And I know what skincare they most need, and I'll be bringing those samples. And as a thank you for making that happen by Saturday morning, I'll have that free lip gloss along with those brushes. How does that sound? Very specific what I want her to do and what's in it for her. Nicole, there's one more thing. At every skincare party, Mary Kay says, there's at least one other person who would be great doing what I do. And tonight I selected you as one of those people. Have you ever thought about opening up your own business? We have the most legitimate wholesale retail spread in the market today, which you can start earning with a low entry point of $30 to $130. We make half of what we sell, and that low investment cannot be matched by any other company. Have you ever thought about starting a home-based business, generating another avenue of income? Now, keep in mind, she could say yes, and you could send her the link right then and there from your iPad or your smartphone. Don't drag out a ready right now person like, okay, well, you think if you have any questions? No. Courage, next step. Close the gap. Create a connection. And don't create objections for somebody who doesn't have questions. Don't give her an objection just because you have an objection. Be present to the moment. Read the road. Be brave. Listen and make the best choice in that moment. If she's curious but not ready, say, you know what, I'm going to text you a link to a little success story of somebody that you might relate to, and let's hop on Zoom or grab a cup of coffee for the next couple of days and see if it might be a fit for you. I'm not going to push you. I'm not going to pressure you, but I've got to tell you about this amazing opportunity so that I'll know I've done my job and followed my instinct. Close an exact time to get back together within 24 to 48 hours. Now, that's old school. That's the way we used to do it. But I hope did you grab something in that conversation? Okay, because everything I've shared so far will be effective both in person and virtually to increase your customer base and to meet new people. Now let's translate this with a bigger focus on virtual platforms. The most effective virtual platform is the one where you don't lose the kitchen table touch. where you feel like you're with people. The key to building rapport is that personal touch. So you must select platforms that feel personal and intimate. People will purchase when they enjoy the customer experience, the ease of the experience, the amount of time of the experience, the professionalism and the flow of the experience. The company's provided us with the most incredible product at a low wholesale price with 100% return on our suggested retail selling price. The cost of entry for a beauty consultant is low. It's not a barrier for anyone, really. Now it's up to us to create and compete on the experience. People buy on Amazon. Why? Because it's convenient. Because the app is on their phone. I know where the app is. I open my phone, I think about something I want, I click on Amazon. People do that because they think about going to that app from their phone because they get good service and they get good delivery and because they can find what they want. How can you translate that? I'm going to talk about apps in a minute, but it's the experience you've got to create and the confidence that you're always going to be in business and that you're the best in the business. You guys, when I was in Fort Lauderdale, when I knew nothing, when I couldn't even say a product ingredient and I didn't even know how to close a sale, I would say, I would meet somebody and they would say, yeah, I tried Mary Kay a long time ago and you know, blah, blah, blah. And I would say, yeah, but you haven't tried it with me. And I'm the best beauty consultant in all of Fort Lauderdale. Practice that, because whether you engage in person or on technology, you want to be effective, not offensive. So which platform do you pick? It's really simple. You pick the one you know how to use. Technology needs to meet the tribe of who you are and who you know. The tools you operate in business need to be the tools you use in person. The more technology you use in your personal life and convert to your business life, the faster you can scale. You're not going to find me on TikTok. It's not going to happen. And I love to dance. I just don't want to do it. You'll find me on Instagram consistently with a consistent message. You'll find me on Facebook as a cross post from Instagram. And you're going to find me on Zoom. Oh, you're going to find me on Zoom. I love our relationship with working live. For me, it's the closest thing to being back together in person around the kitchen table. You can see people, you can have interaction, you can go out into breakout rooms. Most families have been on Zoom multiple times in the past 2.5 years. Most units have been on Zoom the past 2.5 years. Most leaders have built multiple Zooms in the past 2.5 years. So how quickly can you replicate an in-person party on Zoom? You may not be aware that your account with Working Live through Mary Kay's partnership gives you a dashboard that actually has a skincare party presentation, and all you have to do is hit play for your guests. Now, you might think that I've just memorized everything I'm saying, but there is actually a teleprompter, and I'm following words that I've already written, edited, and practiced. When you do Working Live for Zoom, you have your own little teleprompter. They can't see it. You're projecting a video. You're showing them the skincare. You're reading from a teleprompter on Zoom. This is already in place for you. You can pause it. You can talk and interact with them. There's a team building presentation you can project from your Working Live dashboard, or you can just present the whole time and hold up products you want to talk about on Zoom and then close at the end. You can either have them write in the chat the products that they want, or you text them your closing image and have them text you back what they want, and you close the sale and make the payment any way you'd like to do it. Personally, I'd master Zoom as my virtual platform. I'll tell you why I don't like YouTube as a platform. It feels like you're watching a movie and it doesn't feel personal. I know there are other effective parties, including posting parties on Facebook and Zoom to Facebook Live, and there are results there. So I'm not going to go into details of those because your director has preferences and experience. I personally like Zoom or Zoom to Facebook, but I'm going to say that without your director's guidance at all, you can host a Zoom party if you have a Working Live Zoom account. If you don't, go to Mary Kay In Touch, and from the top bar options, click on Ordering. Then go MK Connections, Approved Vendors, and then click on Working Live. And for a minimal monthly cost, you can access your whole dashboard, project parties, and work with your own little teleprompter, just like I was talking about. While you're there, I'm also a big fan of our relationship with Scipio, a group texting opportunity that feels very personal. You can utilize this for brand new leads, have campaigns that go out when you first meet people. You can do it with new customers and get your 2-day, 2-week, 2-month follow-up through a texting campaign, as well as when you offer specials for fresh bookings or open houses or virtual or in person. Now, Interjection. Pam, you said do what I know. I don't know any of that technology. Well, let me be a little bit more specific. There's some technology you're going to have to learn. I remember when I had to learn how to screen share from Zoom. Anybody ever have a real big disaster with screen share from Zoom? Shared the wrong thing? Anybody done that? Yeah. That's when you get good at sharing, when you don't share the wrong picture and you do share the right picture. You're going to have to learn some things. There are pros and cons of both virtual and in person. Of the client you're booking based on her amount of time, her personality style, her preference, who wants an in-person experience, and who will hop on 30 minutes for a virtual experience. It's an option you have to offer. I know some people who absolutely will only do virtual from now on. I know some people whose, healthy next breath comes to them from being physically connected to others. All the extroverts in the room. Anybody extroverts and a lot of woo in your personality, like you need people, all right? Although there are advantages to both, I think we can't ignore the advantages of virtual based on our capacity to conduct more business. Number one, there's the efficiency of time and cost over doing an in-person party. Dressing head to toe for an in-person party. The drive, gas in your car, the time that's required in person will likely be a minimum of 2 hours, and it's limited to your zip code range and your drive of willingness. A virtual appointment can be done under an hour, start to finish, dressed from the waist up, no additional expenses, no gas, no drive, no zip code barrier. Therefore, you can be in your home and have a party with unlimited people 1,000 miles away and tuck your kids in bed. I consider both options to be a tool in your toolkit. There's no reason to be confused. You decide what you like to do. You decide what you're willing to do, and then offer those to your prospects when you make the engagement connection to set the appointment. If you've never done an in-person party, you might want to watch one. If you've never done a virtual party, find a sister beauty consultant and be a guest on her next one so you can watch her if you're a visual learner, like many of us are. I promise you, you're only going to get better no matter what. But you do have to start from where you are. How do you apply strategy and implementation to what I've shared so far? It's called making a start. This is all well and good on paper. It's all entertaining up here today. But how do you integrate with intention? Let's set a big, fresh, audacious goal. There's power in a power start. I had the joy of attending ESND Jamie Taylor's local celebration as a new national sales director in Nashville, Tennessee this year. And in her speech, she shared about her first power start and her hunger to accomplish that goal, how she chased it down. I mean, she was going after it in the 30 days. She was like driving hours to make sure she got that 30th person so she could get her PS pin. Then she traced, I don't know how many of her offspring independent sales directors to that very power start. There's power in a power start. A hard deadline where you start day 1, day 30, 30 faces in 30 days. When you have very clear goals that consist of how many and by when, you're going to be much more likely to accomplish it. A power start is 30 faces in 30 days. Now, you can break that down into skincare appointments with 5 guests in attendance or 30 individual appointments. What would happen if you did a fresh power start in the month of August to launch this new seminar year and our 60th anniversary? As I was building my business, both as a beauty consultant and independent sales director, I always played a CD or a recording. Whether I was putting my makeup on or walking out on the treadmill or out of doors, driving my car, there was some Mary Kay message playing every single day. It's both how I learned and it's how I stayed inspired. The Mary Kay mobile learning app is a great opportunity for you in the car, and they're team building role play videos when you're waiting in a parking lot, a school pickup line, or the doctor's office. The best thing you can give your family, your business, and your community is a healthy, inspired you. It's your job to keep yourself inspired every single day. And can I tell you how advanced our current technology and learning opportunities and apps are? Accessible at your fingertips. If you haven't yet mastered the Skin Analyzer app, it's your pre-profiling and your booking tool. You've got to utilize it. It's an amazing tool to both coach and pre-profile the class. Download the Mary Kay customer app. You could do some kind of drawing or giveaway for your choice and invite 25, 50, 100 of your family and friends to download the app. You'll get an email notification when someone registers. Now we're back to Amazon. When they think of a mascara and that app's on their phone, they're going to go to you. How easy is it to just get on that app, swipe right, and purchase? When people get familiar with how to order from you, they'll use the app more frequently. Do you have to look for your app on Amazon, or do you know where it is on your phone? I know where it is. Bottom right in that square, click on it, search it, find it, swipe right. And those of you who are still in your first 4 months Great Start window, go ahead and download the Great Starts app so you can maximize your Ready, Set, Sell and Ready, Set, Keep Selling free product bundles, and that you can sell them all for 100%. It's just free profit back into your business that the company is supporting you with. Be business savvy and smart. Keep in mind that a name is only a contact and not a lead until there is some type of engagement. Our role is to find a need and fill it. The need for skincare, the need to feel more beautiful with our color or a different look, the need to start an at-home business as a second earning potential or primary earning potential, or for fun. Engagement happens one-on-one per person. You can move fast or slow with each person, but keep your focus on her. It's all about her. And then when we have booking objections in a virtual world, rejection is just a part of our business. It always has been, it always will be. It's for everybody who runs an appointment-based business or a sales business, your hairdresser, your dentist. People say no and people cancel and people reschedule. Have you ever rescheduled a dental appointment? Have you ever rescheduled a hair appointment? Have you ever not shown for an OBGYN appointment? Yeah. Right? Does your doctor quit or get his or her feelings hurt because you didn't show up? I just like to convey that 30 minutes with me is going to be a great, fun experience, and I'm going to make it worth their while. They're going to be getting more from me than they're going to give with their time. Statistically, perseverance and inviting people multiple times yields the ultimate yes. Not one time, multiple times. You invite people over and over and over and over. No never means no. No means either no for now, or I need a little bit more information, or I'm genuinely busy. So you have to decide and be willing to reach out multiple times if you really want to encourage or engage someone in your business. The sooner you learn that rejection of the request to get together is not rejection of you, and that your business success will be the process of accumulation, what you do time over time, repeatedly, persistent effort. What you do day after day, not what you do in one day or in one moment. Then you learn not to take no personally. I like to keep the practice of making 4 agreements with myself. 1, to be impeccable with my word. 2, not to take things personally. 3, not make any assumptions. And 4, always do my best. If I only take action when my feelings are high, I wouldn't be very successful. This is common to all of humanity. I can be managed by my feelings, or I can live in management over my feelings. There will never be an easy day to start something new. You can't succeed if you don't try, and today is a great day to start trying. I hope that as I've been talking, people's names have been coming to your mind. Have they? And I hope you've been making a list of those names and that you're going to convert them into leads and prospects. I knew Mary Kay Ash. I walked with her. I traveled with her, and I learned from her. I sat in her audience, and I sat around many tables over a meal. She not only spoke, but she lived the truth that we fail forward to success, that we learn as we earn, that we win if we don't quit. She said, don't limit yourself. Many people limit themselves to what they think they can do. You can go as far as your mind will let you. What you believe, remember, you can achieve. If I could take you back to Pam Waldrop 36 years ago, and if you could follow her to that first skincare party at a home in Coral Springs, Florida, where she took her unpacked starter kit box up to the door on a 100-degree Fort Lauderdale day, with her inventory also unpacked in the trunk of her car. If you could have heard her hostess say, "What's in the box?" And her answer was, "I hope it's everything that we need." If you could have seen her sweat and wonder what was going to happen next, and ask her hostess to please read the flip chart because she was too nervous and lacking confidence to do it. With no travel roll-up bag and no clothes, just threw out some sales tickets at the end to mothers and daughters to maybe make a list of what they wanted, but they didn't need to buy anything, and they didn't have to buy anything, and they didn't need to feel sorry for me, and they didn't need to feel obligated, but if they wanted anything at all, they could just write it on that sales ticket. With no individual clothes and no full circle invitation to become a beauty consultant, and no Cracker Jack recruiting talk and no second booking. But I was so excited that I not only survived that 2 hours doing something I felt ill-equipped and unnatural at trying, but they bought $450 in spite of me. That was the beginning. You can do everything with the wrong attitude and lose, or you can do everything wrong with the right attitude and you will win. Be willing to get it wrong in order to get it right. I've done many things wrong in my business along the way, without experience, without finesse, and without confidence. Always with integrity, but not always with skill. But what I've done right in my business is that I continue to dream big. I believe in our founder. I believe in our company and the women that I'm blessed to lead. To believe in the people who've gone before me, to believe in the numbers in Applause magazine. Those amounts are real. To hear the speeches from stage and know that I could learn, get better, put into practice what those achievers and teachers were telling me. So dreaming big and never giving up, just going at it one more time. When quarantine hit, I had to step up and I had to figure out how to do a virtual party, even though I hadn't, as a tenured national sales director, held a skincare appointment in years. It took me hours to collect my inventory and put it in a particular order on my desk in front of my Zoom camera. And I wrote out a script and created my own teleprompter in a Word document on my laptop. I wasn't even sure of product ingredients or features and benefits until I went to Product Central. Wow, what a great resource. I learned how to say words I didn't even know were in our products. I just knew I had to lead the way when quarantine shut down. We had a massive unit skincare party after I spent hours putting it together. And we sold together over $5,000 in sales from that effort at that one party. You know, when you put yourself in the position of doing hard things, your confidence grows, and you get to a place where you know you're resilient and you're strong and your faith is intact and you're an overcomer and you have something to offer other people. I could only wish for you, my Mary Kay journey. If you dream big, put into practice what you're learning. If you refine the way you do it, if you keep a goal in front of you at all times, you're on the right track. So my challenge as I leave you is, number one, consider the full circle and conversion process you must master today. Read the road. Identify or meet a person. Schedule an appointment with family and friends. Pre-profile with Skin Analyzer. Hold the appointment. Make the sale. Book the second appointment for color. Retain a customer. Attract a team member. Get that team member in motion to sell her first 5 skincare sets. She'll be with you forever. Book her launch party or power start. Model for and teach her the full circle process of our business that you're doing over and over again. Number 2, book a power start for August. 30 faces in 30 days. Look at your calendar. When are you holding your appointments? When does your director have group appointments that either in person or virtual that you can hop on with hostesses and guests? Get very clear as you look at your weekly plan sheet what you're offering and on what platform or venue you're offering it. Remember, a confused mind does nothing. So be very clear about your schedule, your when, your what, and your who is super important. Keep a desired number of appointments on your date book. When you're out of bookings, you're out of business. My recommendation is to have 10 parties on your date book for the 1st to the 15th. Enough will postpone or reschedule. You'll be just fine. And then do it again from the 16th to the 30th. Number 3, set a team building goal. What lights you up? Is it that red jacket, career car, directorship, the pink Cadillac? Start with the next win on your career path. From where you are, take your next promotion and set a deadline. Number 4, communicate that goal to your team and your team leader and your sales director and partner up. That accountability is so important. You can't keep hiding or playing hide and go seek and get anywhere in this business. Connection and accountability, especially when you don't feel like it. Number 5, see it all the way across the finish line, and then do it again. Do it again in September and October and November and yes, December. This year, we're working towards the celebration of our 60th anniversary. Dream big, my friend. How will you return to Seminar 2023, and how that outcome can be a result of a decision you made today? It's so exciting. God bless you. Godspeed. Keep shining brightly. Make it a great year. Thank you.
Wow.